Hello again, as we head now for the Rivermead Centre in Reading for the welterweight championship of Great Britain. Kirkland Laing, the 35-year-old champion's had an up-and-down career. When he's good, he's brilliant. His victory over Roberto Duran in '83 proves that. But the 5 defeats on his record show how erratic he can be. George Collins is 13 years younger. He's lost only 1 in 36 fights, but that was his last bout when his Commonwealth title bid against Gary Jacobs ended in a points defeat. Our commentary team, Terry Lawless and Reg Guttridge.
Well, now, it's a big chance for George Collins, virtually on his home territory with family and a whole host of supporters here. Against one of the most gifted boxers in Britain today, without doubt. But the totally unpredictable Kirkland Laing. There it is with the Rastafarian style tied, I understand, into a French plait. So I think it's going to be a show-off night for Kirkland Laing. He's only lost to one British fighter in the last 14 years. Back in '80 and '81 to Colin Jones, who of course was a good puncher and fought twice for the World Championship. So let's see which Laing is with us tonight, whether it's going to be the actor or the great performer. And Mickey Van and Pudsey, the referee, just saying, well, if you don't mind, fellas, could we get on with the championship fight? You can't blame Collins for that. So that was only the first minute on the opening round. The dramatics are over with. Terry Lawrence, what kind of Laing do you think we've got tonight? You used to manage him. Nobody should know him better than you and how he performs.
I was going to say amen to that when you said the totally unpredictable. I think after 35 years, I don't think Kirk can even work himself out. I don't think anybody knows, including himself, what he's going to do tonight. I mean, to see a guy, champion of Great Britain, defending the title and walking around like that is just unbelievable.
Very talented nonetheless. Right back to the ABA finals in '72, defeated Vernon Solis of Scotland. He was a very good boxer. Well, Collins' game plan has got to be to try and pressure Laing a bit. 35 years old, you never know, the old legs might have a bit of lead in them, and if he can keep it going towards the end of the contest, who knows, he might have a fatal Laing in his hands. But in terms of ability, certainly nobody could knock Kirkland Laing. And remember that he once defeated the great Roberto Duran, who's still around and earning millions. No doubt, Terry, I think he fancies the fight, as they say in the trade, Laing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a very confident guy these days. You just wonder how many times can he go to the post. You know, he's done this so many times now. It's such a shame that somebody with that talent has never fought for the world title, you know.
Well, I tell you what, there's a little touch of WrestleMania coming in there. I thought it was an American wrestling game we were going. The referee quite right in saying we don't need any of that. And there's the rundown now of Kirkland Laing. As I say, well, world ranked 18, he could be well in the top 10 if only he tried a bit more. He lost to Nino LaRocca for the vacant European Championship. He's only had 2 fights in 2 years. He totally frustrates manager Mickey Duff, whose head you see just poking through the ropes there. As trainer Danny Mancini works on any bumps and bruises. And a switch to Collins. And there it is, it's only just 22. And only that one loss, and remember that was in a very exciting contest with Gary Jacobs for the Commonwealth Championship.
Take it up.
Round 2. Sure, Collins knows quite what to make of Laing at this stage. He doesn't want to fall into any silly traps, and he wants to bide his time, being the younger by a long way. He thinks he probably can stay better. A little bit of out of camera warning there by the referee for shoving Laing, and he was. Well, Terry, I've seen, well, the majority of Lang's fights, and I really can't remember him being so showy as this.
No, he is really taking the mickey a little bit of Collins. I mean, I don't know if you're working the other corner. I've only worked with him. If you're working the other corner, what do you tell anybody to do? How do you tell him to fight him? His hands are so quick, his reflexes are so good, and he's a stinging puncher.
Yeah, you can't just say head down and go in and have a go. There's more to it than that to be Kirkland Laing. Well, that's the sort of pressure that Collins wants to apply and keep applying. Rough the champion up. He's got to keep this under control now, Mickey Van, warning to both of them for the heads there banging away. I'm not sure Collins should really get into that game. Oh, there we go again. 2 falls or a submission we're going to get. He'd be better off keeping out of the acting business, Collins, and just sticking to his task, wouldn't he?
Well, he's got to try and put pressure on Kirk, but he's got to be careful also that he doesn't walk onto something. It's very, very difficult to handle, Kirk.
Oh, that right hand punch. And he's going to have trouble. He's jumped over him twice there when he went down, and Collins looked into his corner. He couldn't find the corner.
He's in desperate trouble.
And he's in trouble here.
Desperate trouble. I don't think he's going to get up.
He's only just about made it, too, at 9 and a bit. Mickey Van had trouble picking up the count from the timekeeper, I thought, there. What a right-hand punch that was in the second round. You see, he's not all flash, is he, Laing? He can dig when he wants to.
Well, that's the problem, Reg. He's sitting on him, and then you walk onto those sort of punches.
Well, when you think he might be at the end of his career, he looks as though he's just beginning it, the way he's throwing punches here, Laing. And I'll tell you, that was fight there. He really needs it, George Collins, now. Not the first time that he's been staggered in a contest, but he's never been hurt quite as much as that. He looked to the wrong corner to start with, and then he was making sure he could pick up the count from the referee. Terry, let's have a look at that knockdown.
I mean, I'm quite surprised he got up from that. He did very well to get up for that. It was very tight, actually, at 10, you know, very tight in beating the count.
Really a downward arc right on the side of the jaw there.
I mean, if you think, Reg, when you go back to when he boxed Colin Jones, I think the only 2 rounds he lost in both fights were the rounds he got knocked out.
That's right, he was well ahead in both of them, but Jones always had that payoff that mattered. Round 3 then. He certainly fires himself up when he's against British opponents, Terry. He stopped Sylvester Mitty Laing in the same way.
That was probably the best Laing I've ever seen when he boxed Mitty. I thought he was exceptional that night.
Got to be wary now, obviously, Collins. He now knows more than anything that he's taken a dig. I'm sure this isn't the way Kirkland defeated Roberto Duran, but to do it in Detroit and get the decision, he must have boxed well. Long time ago, of course, back in '82. Terry, he's doing it at his own pace now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the problem, you see. Collins has got to try and hustle him. He's got to try and tire him. But he's got to do it carefully, and that's very hard to do with Kirkland.
And a minute to go in the third.
Good right hand, that's just a bit high.
Yeah, he's going to try those all the time, obviously. Laing now just looking for that pot shot all the time. Didn't come out far in punches. I thought he would have done. He did there though, but has he got enough time to do it in this round? He must drive cornermen mad. You know, what do people like Mickey Duff and Mancini thinking at this stage?
I think he's got a lot better. I mean, when he won the British title, when I managed him with Riney, I refused to get in the corner at the end of the fight. He was whistling in between rounds. You know, I mean, I've watched him for 17 years now, and I've seen him box thousands of rounds in the gymnasium, and I still do not know what he's going to do next. I'm sure he doesn't know what he's going to do next.
Out. And again, one more. Right out.
Well, as they say, the second major title fight in his 36 pro fights. Manager Frank Warren, who doesn't work the corners, has done a very good job in steering this fella through 35 wins. And he's stopped 24 of those.
Round 4.
Round 4. Thing is, while he's still got so much youth on his side, even at 35, Terry, is that he hasn't really been in many punishing fights in his career.
You can count on your hands how many times he gets hit.
Exactly, that's what I mean. You know, he knows how to get out of the way of punches. And he's made many a good fighter look very ordinary in gymnasium sparring.
I mean, can you believe this? You've just read out Collins' record. Look, he's walking around with his hands at his side like he's having a Sunday afternoon walk.
Tagged in the corner there and then just dropped his hands as though, well, I'll ignore that, don't do that again.
Like he's going to say, how dare you there?
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean you're hitting a champion? George Collins got all the heart in the world. He'll stick to his task as much as he can, hopefully without getting caught for his sake. Collins, a succession of left jabs, then a right hand came in and just caught Laing.
Got to be a little careful here, Reg, though.
Tony made Laing mad now, isn't he?
So that's where Laing is going to. If he catches Collins walking on, that's where they hurt him.
Well, the risk of repeating ourselves, and that's often what commentators have to do. I mean, what do you make of this fellow Laing? He drops his hands. I mean, as Terry Lord was saying, how can you tell the fellow in the other corner what to do against him?
That's exactly it. When he goes back to the corner, what do they tell him to do? They tell him to press on, because then he's liable to get caught with a counter, that he can't back away. If he drops his hands, that's exactly what Lang's doing. I'm glad I'm here tonight, not up in the other corner.
I think my advice would be, look out, here he comes. Terry, have a look at this replay then. See, he did better with those left-hand jabs, and then the right hand came over.
Yeah, but he knows, you see, he's already felt the power of the cross of Laing, so he's doing it just a little bit apprehensively. And that's where he's got to be careful when he throws his head up. He's certainly a very brave young man.
Round 5. Laying up before the bell there, early for work. Scheduled, of course, a championship fight for 12 rounds. Welterweight championship for Britain, 10 stone 7. And there's only a quarter of a pound between them. That's to Collins' advantage, whatever that means. Terse calls coming from supporters and presumably cornermen for work, means throwing punches for Collins. They don't want imposing too much because he'll win nothing at that game. Laing, you might say, Terry, is a professional poser, isn't he?
Yeah. When you look at him, look at the size of him. He's a giant of a welterweight, mature, strong man, and he's still got the reflexes of a young 20-year-old. I must be honest, I keep watching him, waiting for the day he's going to slow down, but it doesn't appear to be happening tonight.
Well, 5th round, you never know. In this game, one punch can change everything.
One hit, Reg.
He was out before he hit the floor there, wasn't he? He really wobbled and fell back there. And I'll be surprised he won't let him go on. He just, yes, he will. I'm amazed. His legs really were so rubbery at that stage. But he'll dive in now, Mickey Van, right away. He had to do that. I'd hoped he'd do it first time up. In the 5th round. And I must say, tremendous performance by Kirkland Laing, the old man of the ring. Probably now that he's had this exposure on ITV, there won't be too many people saying Kirkland who, as we've been saying over the years. He's never been a real fashionable fighter, but it was a perfect finish, Terry.
Well, you know, every time I see him, watching this now, a guy can do that at 35 years of age. It's heartbreaking that he's not been a world champion, because he's probably one of the most talented fighters ever to come out of this country.
Just watch this replay then, Terry. I mean, his body really betrayed him there, didn't it, when he got caught?
Well, he was a confused, bewildered young man at that stage. So,
well, this is having been waved on there by the referee. All the guts in the world he got up there, George Collins. And when he got turned into the ropes there, he was easy prey, wasn't he, then, for Laing, and that was it. The referee had to get in.
I felt very sorry for him that round. He looked totally confused. He didn't know what to do.
he's had a couple of cracks, and that's his brother in the ring with him. But unfortunately, he has met two talented fighters, and in particular here with Kirkland Laing.
Nothing right with Kirk. He's even got the Lonsdale belt on upside down. Nothing. He does nothing normally.
Kirkland, many congratulations, and we are wondering at ringside, 35 years of age, when are you going to start slowing down?
Slowing down, why? I don't know nothing about slowing down. This is right now, Jim. Right? Hear me now. Boxing is my business. And I have the best trainer of the business, Joe Ryan. Take it from me, Joe Ryan, the best. He give me the motivation. So the boys them here now, got them have faith in me, Jim.
A lot of us watching at ringside just wondered, aren't you frustrated that you've never had the opportunity to fight for a world title?
No, it's right now.
It may change.
I'm a patient man, and I believe in anything can happen. You know, boxing is a funny game.
But holding on to the Lonsdale belt and still being British champion means a huge amount to you, doesn't it?
Oh, guys, it's right now, Jim. This is this big thing here. Wicked, hear me now.
Incidentally,
Mickey Duff, you said it might change him not fighting for a world title.
well, you know, there's an old Irish adage that the man who invented time made a lot of it. And he's a living, Kirkland is a living proof of it.
Yes, man.
There are 3 titles at the welterweights. I'm working on a Lloyd Hannigan fight against Mark Breland, but that leaves 2. We might well make Marlon Starling with him during next year, or even Simon Brown for the IBF title.
You're not going to go missing again, are you? You'll be around for those fights, will you?
Right. I'm just getting my boxing together, Jim.
Incidentally, Jim,
I know.
I am told that the referee counted Collins out in the 2nd round. The timekeeper counted him out, but the referee didn't hear
There
it.
was definitely a bit of confusion there. I
Yeah,
think,
but
Kirkland,
anyway,
you might
all
like
is
to have a
well
little
with
look
it,
at some of the action down here. And this is the end of the fight, and you ended it in brilliant style.
Sure. That is known. You see, I have better to come still. Tonight I couldn't get going. I'm not making no excuse, right?
He was in shape.
I was in shape, very good shape, but I think I had too much rest. I've been in my hotel all day today, man. I never woke up properly. That's the truth. But you see, I know I'm in control. Me just lose one too sharp.
Right, and here, if you look down at the screen now, here comes the knockdown.
Right, you see that? Watch out. Sure, just walk away from my leave.
It's fair enough, fine. I think we were wondering what sort of mood you were going to be in tonight. You were up for this one, weren't you?
Yeah, man, it's British title. Hey, this is why I love it. I know.
Right. I'm not sure he's the right way round, but it doesn't make too much difference to you, does it?
Jim,
Okay.
let me know.
Okay, hold on.
You see, in what state it when I beat your verted run? I want the fans them to know that, right? I was just mentally, you know, I wasn't growing up physically or mentally. I was just
Okay.
fast and sharp. But
You made your
me
point.
ready.
You
all
made
right?
your point. Good show tonight. Thanks a lot. Well done.
What a character, eh? Some achievement, isn't it, to beat someone 13 years younger. Right, with more boxing later with George Collins.